your note taker has arrived before you.
How are you doing?
Beautiful, thank you. Uh, is the world going to the place where we are like artificial intelligence is going becoming smarter for us? What does that do to therapists? Do you use
It
it?
does a great job. I don't think it's going to be smarter than us. I think, you know, people are scared of the new and people are scared of the things that they don't understand. And therefore, if I don't understand, it's built into me that whatever I do not understand, I am not able to control. And if I'm not able to control, it might harm me in some way. So people are afraid of that, not so much of AI, you know. Just like for so many years, people are afraid of hypnosis because they don't actually understand hypnosis.
Mhm.
So you know, if hypnosis were mainstream and were presented and depicted in a favorable light and a positive light, then people won't be afraid of it. They'll actually search for it, look for it. And it's the same with AI. You know, AI, I think it's an amazing tool that can help us, you know, achieve so much more than we were able to until now. And honestly, it's just another way of filtering out people who are dinosaurs or who are, you know, forward thinkers. It's one of the two.
You said hypnosis was like that in a part of time and world. Somewhere still is, mostly still is.
Yeah.
But if I should enumerate people in the world who are helping the idea of hypnosis not being so hidden and wrongfully accused, you would be one of the first.
Thank you.
Mostly thanks to your Hypnosis Master Summit and the idea of promoting hypnosis as more than a close your eyes and
Yeah,
let me
exactly.
control you with this
Yes,
because
yes,
this
yes,
is
yes,
the way.
exactly.
If I could do this and win lotteries, I would do this. So that's
Yeah. And actually, you know, I had so many conversations about this with, you know, people who've been doing this for 40, 50 years. And opinions are, you know, split, so to speak. Some people say, like, for instance, stage hypnosis is very bad for the industry in overall. And when I talk about the industry, I talk about the therapeutic part of it. So they say it's really bad because instead of people going for hypnosis sessions to heal and deal with their issues, then they see the stage hypnosis shows and they are scared away because of that. But on the other hand, um, stage hypnosis shows is the best way to popularize hypnosis, right? So a lot of people are seeing the shows and then they go like, oh, so if this guy can do this, maybe he can also help me with this issue. So even here within the hypnosis world, opinions are very split, very shared between the two, you know,
how can you
two
then
sides.
have an organization of hypnotherapists in Romania, hypnotists all overall? If those opinions are split, is it difficult to run that? How many?
No, actually, you know, it's very funny because all the academic organizations usually, generally, they tend to have very convoluted names. Like for instance, in Romania, they were having Romanian Ericksonian Hypnosis and Relaxation Institute,
Mhm.
something. So they really, you know, they said we are not actually doing hypnosis. We are doing only Ericksonian hypnosis. And I said, fine, I'll just make a very simple one, Romanian Hypnosis Association, period. So that can encompass everything, you know.
Mhm.
Why say we're having um, the association of the whole grain with bit of salt and seeds and flax oil, or association organization, instead of saying we are the Romanian Bread Association.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The nitpicking because then maybe of the importance, maybe of the values that are then hidden behind the name. Because Ericsson is recognized and we are not. Let's just sit behind it.
Yeah, but then Erickson is actually part of the larger topic, which is hypnosis. So it's not. It's
Yeah.
so you have different types of hypnosis, among which Ericksonian. But
Yes.
Ericksonian is under hypnosis, is not Erickson and then hypnosis are other things. you know. So the topical structure, the hierarchy is the other way around.
Yeah. What in your heart, is it easier to work with hypnosis as a word, or should we name it differently in a way to not to run away from these debates of what is it and isn't? Should it be like renamed to a like well-being treatment, or should we keep the hypnosis and be brave about it? What do you think?
I don't think you need to be brave when it comes to hypnosis, but I think you actually have to look at the end user. So the question is not what I would use, but the question is what are people looking for? And you need to serve. This is what Google does. This is why Google was so successful, because Google said, I don't think, Google didn't say, I think that this guy has a really good pizza and this guy has a really bad pizza. Google said, let's see what people are searching for. And then they search for X pizza versus Y pizza. So then therefore we'll provide them these results, right? So you can call it pizza, or you can call it some dough with veggies on top and cheese. You know, what should we call it? Pizza or dough with veggies and cheese? Well, let's call it pizza. Why? Because people are searching for pizza. They're not searching for dough with cheese and veggies on top, right? So it's the same with hypnosis. There was actually a study done a while back where they took a group of people, they split them in two, so they had two groups. And the way they split the group is basically they ask everybody in the main group, do you think hypnosis works? Do you believe in hypnosis? And some people said, yes, I do. Others said, no, I don't, right? So now they had two groups. And then what they did, they used a script, hypnosis script, if you will. And for group A, who self-identified as, I think hypnosis works, for these people, what they did, they used the script, and the main word in the script was hypnosis. Now they used the same exact word-for-word script for the other group, but instead of hypnosis, they used imagination, right? The text was the same. And what they noticed, what they observed with this study was that those who identified with, I think hypnosis works and I believe it works and whatnot, these people were much more suggestible than these people. So, you know, long story short, back to your question, I would use hypnosis with people who are asking for it and say, now we're going to do hypnosis. But people who say, do not hypnotize me because that's the work of the devil, I say, oh, forget about hypnosis. This is not hypnosis. Let's just do an imagination exercise. Let's see how well you can imagine stuff.
Or Hegelian method.
Or whatever. It doesn't even matter, right? So basically you play, they give you they give you the tune, and then you play to that tune. You still do whatever you do, but you play to that tune. So if they say, I love hypnosis and I think it's amazing, then that's all I talk about. If they say, well, I'm a very intelligent person and hypnosis doesn't work for me, it's like, okay, well, one of the great signs of intelligence is actually how well you're able to imagine stuff. So let's do some imagination exercises and see how well you do with that. Not because I want to test you, but because I want to see how well I can help you with these exercises. So imagine this, and then I'll just do the exact same thing. I just don't call it hypnosis. I call it imagery exercises.
Yes, those are the basic issues with hypnosis. They are always mentioned in a way, but right now there is a subject of hypnotherapy and versus hypno-coaching.
Yeah.
What's with the idea of therapy in Romania, and how do they legally deal with it? Can you be a hypnotherapist and do a therapy, or are you a hypno-coach or whatever naming there is? And
right. So hypnosis is not regulated in Romania, which basically means there is no law about hypnosis, and there is no occupational code. So like every country has an occupational code, a nomenclature. And then it's like, so for this occupation, you have this code. For this occupation, you have this code.
Yes, it's so not registered.
You registered, yeah. High school, university, and get that occupational code. There is no such code for hypnotherapy, right? So that means that it is not regulated. That means that whatever, if you are to teach somebody to do hypnosis and they will use it, they can use it on their own expense, responsibility, or if they are trained as a coach or a psychotherapist or a counselor or any of these, which are occupational codes, right? All of these are they are a job, they're an occupation in and by itself. Then they can do whatever they learn in a hypnotherapy course and apply as part of their services to the client. But when the client is being billed, they won't bill the hypnotherapy session, they will bill the coaching session or the psychotherapy sessions or whatnot.
Or consultations. So, yeah, okay, that's the same as in Croatia. Do you think that having associations, summits, people piling around the subject will increase the pressure as an idea to introduce hypnosis and hypnotherapy, not maybe as the same level, but get it there somewhere?
Well, it's a very tricky
legalize one. Hypnosis,
Well, it's very tricky, why? Because it comes with a lot of responsibilities and also a lot of, I would say, liabilities. But for instance, in Romania, there is what is called the Romanian Psychotherapist Association, right? And basically, they really don't like people to become coaches or counselors or hypnotherapists, because if they do become all of these, they won't be psychotherapists, and then therefore they won't pay them anymore, right? Because as a psychotherapy, you have to pay some money to be a member of this organization, and so on and so forth. So basically, it actually comes down to economics, not to the betterment of people. Really, this is what it comes down to. And then, of course, they say, oh, but we have regulations and we have ethics committee and all that stuff, which is totally fine. Of course, you should have that. But in Romania, we tried, actually. We went to the Romanian work ministry, and we said, hey, we would like to create a new occupational code. We would like to create a new occupation in Romania. And then they said, well, who should give you approval for this? Oh, it's this psychotherapist association. And they will never give us approval, and they won't give us approval because of the reasons I just mentioned. So basically, because they say, well, we don't have expertise in this field, and since we do not have expertise in this field, we need to look at somebody who might have some sort of expertise, and hypnotherapy is actually part of psychotherapy. So therefore, if these guys, they say you're okay, then you'll get their okay, and then you can create your own organization and whatnot. But if they don't say that, then you won't be able. And of course, we never got it. And I said, "Oh, screw you! I'll do it even without. I don't care. I don't need to be an occupation. I just need people to know. So people who already have some sort of an occupation, they can learn how to do hypnotherapy as part of their services, and then we start providing training for people to get the other occupations like counselor or coaching. So right now, my organization actually offers trainings that can qualify somebody to become a counselor or to become a coach. And then once they get that official umbrella, then they can do whatever they want with their clients, of course, within ethics and morals.
We have started a hypnosis training academy three years ago as an online platform. And so far, we've schooled around 100 hypnotists, out of which maybe 40 are hypnotherapists. Some coaches, some are still in school, and we have right now 4 groups running every day.
Nice.
And one of the things that we decided to do is if we can't approach psychotherapists to have a hypnotherapy as an idea, we will school psychotherapists one by one.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we did.
The idea. So if you have 20% psychotherapists in your school or 20% psychologists in your school, that means that in a way those people approve the idea and validate the existence.
Yeah. Personally, I don't really care so much about this. In the beginning, many years ago, I was more into this. Now I don't really care, because what I realized, and this is valid for me. You might feel, of course, differently, but for me, it's more like, you know what, in the end of the day, why am I doing this? Because I want to give people tools that they can use for themselves or with others to get the results they want. That's it. Bottom line, this is it. I don't care about organizations, occupations, and all that stuff. I don't care about that, really. I just want people to have tools, to have knowledge, to have information, to have methods that can help them get results. Or in case of people who are already psychotherapists or psychologists and whatnot, help them get better results, because a lot of people are going through university, through get master's degrees, and they come out with a lot of theoretical knowledge, technical information, but no practical application of that knowledge. And so now when they open up a practice and it takes them 10 sessions to help somebody stop doing whatever they want to do or achieve some sort of result, when they can come to a training like yours or like mine and learn this one method, and in one session you're done, because that's how it works, right? I'm not saying that every single issue is solved in one session, but a lot of issues are solved in 1 to 2 sessions. And this is not something they learn in school. They don't learn about this in high school. They don't learn about this in college. They don't learn about this in master's degrees. They just learn, theory. And it's just boring and bullshit, to be honest, to some extent. So that's why we started to say, hey, anyone who wants to learn, they can join. I don't put any restrictions. I don't say, oh, if you're not a psychotherapist, you cannot join. Fuck that, because being a psychotherapist means, you have a paper or you don't have this paper. In the end of the day, this is what it is to me. And I don't care about that. I want everybody to benefit, because a lot of people are studying on their own, and they have a lot more knowledge than people who have had a paper and said, now I have this paper, I'm done. No, I'm not done. I'm not a psychotherapist. I've done self-study, and I've just been going on and on and on, studying by myself and learning more and more from some amazing people around the world. And I know I'm doing a much better job than 98% of all the psychotherapists out there today, because I learned so many methods, and I've been studying so much, and I've been working with people, and I got feedback from them.
Of course, the results in the end say what's going on. It's not just a theory. Thank you for that subject. Moving away from it, because it
Yes.
is important, but not important. I like the concept that you've stated here. Our own self-esteem is the one, and the results that should be put in front, not what is expected from us.
Yeah.
You are a teacher, a therapist, a organizer of events. I kind of understand all the levels, but tell me the roles that you change. Which of those do you feel most comfortable with? Being a teacher of hypnosis or hypnotherapy methods, or a therapist? Or do you have the time to separate the roles?
I like them both, all of them, really. It's you mentioned the word professionals, and I think I would like to touch on that a little bit, because it pertains to your question as well. Because you can be a professional doing therapy, you can be a professional in organizing events, or you can be a professional in teaching courses. And what I would like to point here is that being a professional doesn't mean you have an occupational code and now you can do X, Y, Z, right? That's just a certification. Having a profession actually is more in the line of, are you making a living out of this? Is this a source of income for you? And if so, then this is a profession, even though it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles of what a dictionary term for profession is. Mm-hmm. But since you're making money with it, since you're making a living with it, since you're doing this on a steady basis, then you have a profession. For me, today, I do not see so many clients, private clients anymore, as I am more into the entrepreneurial phase of my life, so to speak, where I organize summits and events, but I also, for instance, now recently we launched an online clinic where basically we employ the people who've trained with us and say, hey, you know what, you trained with us. I don't care if you're a psychotherapist before, but as long as you have an official way of performing your services, then we can create a contract, and then I provide you with clients, you perform the services, and then everybody wins. So we moved into this phase where I basically run a business. I do see clients still. I do still have events and summits and create courses on different subjects and topics, and that's to maintain the brain, to popularize what we're doing, and to bring clients to our programs. We have an online academy with hundreds of, basically in the online academy, I think we have, if you were to study every day for 8 hours, you would need about 8 months to go through all of the material which is in the academy, because it's been so many courses that we've been recording and putting it up there. So that's why I'm saying right now I'm more into the business part, entrepreneurial part, but I'm not saying no necessarily to somebody who says, hey, I would like to do a session with you. I'll say, well, let's see how I can help, if I can help you. But since I've started the clinic also, I'm deferring all of the requests. I'm referring them to the team that we created. And I would suggest you do the same,
You can suggest, and I will show you right now for these days what's going on. So this is the page. These are the
wonderful
with my therapists that finished school, and here they are introduced as a single tab, each of them, what they do, who they are, and an interview. So these
love it, perfect.
All of them are. This is a psychotherapist, not yet working as another psychotherapist, astrologist and hypnocoach, another theta healer, psychotherapist.
I love it. That's perfect, man.
So these, and there's an invite to become our therapist. So the idea, a Reiki master, a psychologist, NLP teacher. So what we do actually is going there where you just said. Thank you for confirming that we're on the same track, I guess. I'm few days back. I'll catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what you can do? I mean, this is what I've done with my events and with my summits. I have the sessions recorded, and then I create subtitles in my local language. And now with the advance of AI, you can actually create dubbing versions. So basically, I speak Romanian or English, and you would hear me speaking in Croatian.
Yes, that's fabulous and fascinating. Still, yes, beautiful what's going on there. So
so you could do that. Like there are some tools right now out there on the market that you can actually use to dub your voice in any language you want. But give it 3 or 6 more months, and the tools will become way better than they are today. And so at that point, you can basically say, hey, let's do an interview with so and so, and people, everybody who would watch the interview, they would actually listen to it in Croatian with my voice.
We're kind of rounding it up to the initial idea. Whether the artificial intelligence is growing, hypnotherapy or therapists will also need to grow in order to maintain the balance. Because the emotional part is ours, no matter what T1000 says.
Yeah, exactly. Well, talking about this, because you talked about T1000, and I love the reference. Arthur C. Clarke, who is one of the most famous and prolific science fiction writers, and for people who don't know, actually, he's the inventor of the radar. He invented radar. Right? So he was a very scientific person, but he had this inclination towards scientific writing and sci-fi. He actually said in one of his interviews, he said this: if a machine can replace a teacher, it should. Because a teacher is much more than just a body conveying some information. A teacher means so much more than that. So if a therapist can be replaced by a machine, it should. Right.
Let's just end with that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you very much for your talk. When is your next event coming? Are you having any events?
I'm not gonna have any more this year, but next year I'm planning one in March or April on healing trauma. So it's gonna be working with trauma from different perspectives, like NLP, hypnosis, psychotherapy, and so on and so forth. So March or April, I'm going to do one with like 30 or 40 speakers.
Trauma has been introduced lately as an important part of the therapy, and it is, but maybe because I'm in the field, but I see it popularized a lot. Do you think?
Well, trauma or suffering, I might actually call it suffering, and put an end to suffering summit, because a lot of people are suffering. There's not one person who doesn't suffer, and actually people are more aware of the fact that they are suffering. They are not so ashamed of saying I suffer or I have a trauma. Some actually go all the way the other way around and say, actually, I'm all about being a victim of trauma. So that's bullshit again. But a lot more people are more conscious, more self-conscious, more aware, and therefore they look for ways to deal with it. So that's why.
The old events that you've created so far, and the contacts and the people, how was that as an experience to you?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about being able to talk to so many wonderful people and minds about such
that's
yourself?
that's one of the best ways to get free training with some of the best speakers and trainers and teachers out there, because I learned so much by doing all of those interviews. It's unbelievable how much information is there, and it helped me so much with doing a better job with working with clients. So, and also it positions you also as an authority, because if you get in touch with this, you get associated with all of these people. So it helps you, like for instance, you're doing right now for your crowd, you associate yourself with me, not like I'm the biggest bada boom here, but it's, always somebody from a different country is perceived as,
Valuable.
more than somebody from your own country. In Romania, we have nobody is a prophet in his own country. So then you bring outside prophets to support your position, and so for me it worked tremendously from a learning standpoint. It also was a good business venture. This year it kind of flopped. It didn't perform as well as it did in the past, but I'll start again next year. Maybe I'll do 2 events per year, one on suffering and trauma, and one on NLP and hypnosis, and that's that. I tried different things. I tried with coaching, and I tried with business and marketing, but that's not my crowd. My crowd is NLP, hypnosis, and psychotherapy, trauma, stuff like that. That's my crowd. So that's what I'm going to continue doing.
And those events and meetings that you had and the interviews you learned from, what have they developed as an idea of where is hypnotherapy going now, instead of, let's say, how it was 10 years ago? Where do you think the direction of hypnotherapy is, according to these?
I wouldn't know what to tell you, to be honest. I think
where is it now?
being a good professional is not enough. Especially for somebody who just starts, because the market is more and more flooded with coaches, overnight coaches. I'll help you make $20,000 a month kind of services, and let me show you how to have a calendar full of clients and whatnot. And so those so-called coaches, they don't actually sell the professional aspect of the business. They don't sell the skills as a coach or a therapist. They actually promote how to better promote yourself. And then on the other spectrum, you have people who've been doing this for a while, and they grow a business and they maintain a business by referrals. So I'm a good professional. I have very good results with my clients, and therefore I don't need to advertise myself, because my clients do that for me, and then I get clients via referral. And so when I say that it's not enough to be just a good professional, it's not enough if you want to grow. That's what I mean. So if you want to, expand your business, have, people work for you, get more clients, get high-end clients, higher paying clients, then you need to do some entrepreneurial work for that, and not just being in your office, in your therapy room with a client. You need to do much more than that.
One of our famous composers said once, like 2 hours a day I compose and 6 hours a day I promote what I did.
Yeah, and that's very very clear. The 80-20 Pareto rule.
Oh,
It's not so much about. I was talking to somebody who is an expert at selling books on Amazon, and said, it doesn't matter what your book is about. It doesn't matter how well written it is. If you don't have a good marketing plan to promote it, it's gonna flop. It's just that. You don't have to do this yourself. You can hire a team to do your marketing and PR and emails and everything. You can have somebody do that for you, and you can still stick to what you love, working with clients, but you need to have this other part covered, and you don't do it yourself. You have somebody who's doing that for you. Like, for instance, right now, I started providing services to coaches and therapists who want to have blog articles or advertorials on different websites, and they don't know how to write them, or they cannot write them. So, well, I can do that for you. I have a service that I'm providing people, and you tell me the topic you would like an article, and I'll provide you 10 articles on that topic, and I'll do that for you because I have a team who does that for me, right? So
something like what we started here. I started interviewing my hypnotherapists in order for them to. It's easier when they answer questions than they have to sit down and write about what I'm doing, who I am. I will ask you. So what do I?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need nothing. Just go there and be yourself.
Yeah,
sometimes that is the most difficult thing, I guess. Be yourself.
Yeah. I do the same. Like, for instance, I told them, I need some videos of you talking about yourself. Oh, I don't know how to talk about it. Well, it's so fun. We'll do a Zoom call, and I'll interview you, and we'll do that.
Yeah, good. So I feel that we have similarities in a way, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
It's good.
And I love Croatia. It's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever visited.
I will now visit Romania just to verify that.
Well, I'm sure you'll say the same, but I love it. I've been there a couple of times, many years ago, not recently, but it was beautiful.
Enjoy your day and work. Thank you for this conversation, and we'll keep in touch.
How do I quickly say your name?
Hrvoje.
Come again?
Hrvoje.
Hrvoje.
Yes, that's good. Hrvoje.
Hrvoje. Okay, Hrvoje.
Hrvatska.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this, and let's keep in touch.